a lot of questions, I think, for this team.
Well, let's get some answers, right? We're heading on the way. It's do or die here as well in the lower brackets. Loser of this will be heading home. And it's UJerks to open things up. Kaspersky caught on the drive-by as Youngster gets up close and personal. And they're trying to swing it towards this site. There's a molly in towards the back end of it that'll force UJerks out, but he's still alive. Same can't be said for Grix and Nilo, caught by Snappy and the Doolies. What a way to lead by example. Snappy gets all three, and he's loving it.
Yeah, there you go. A bit of energy to him. Usually quite a chill guy. I think it is safe to say. Loves a good interview, loves a good podcast. And yeah, he's usually pretty laid back and just, you know, chatting away, but he does have the demon within him, I suppose. And the mechanics to back it up, in fairness. A lovely pistol from him, especially the two-piece in the middle there to just kind of confirm the fact. Heroic. Enjoy this map at the moment. Still not loads and loads and loads of reps on it, but as they look towards the veto, they have a few decisions to make, and it's hard, man. They're not necessarily a team, I think, that can ban things away and move towards a solid punish pick. Their most favourite map gets permabanned by this NiP team, so that doesn't help.
It definitely makes the veto process a little bit more uncomfortable. So far, this side not looking uncomfortable at all of NiP. Nice little 2-0 out the gate, set the tone, sell the nerves, all the things you want to see. I mean, as much as they obviously got the win in stage one to open up Cologne for them, they still are once again considered the on-paper underdogs in this series. You know, this heroic side have continued to scale up. I think there's still maybe teething issues there with Nilo of getting him to the level they want, especially the level of Xflower, but NiP are the underdogs, but they're starting so well. Wrinkle will find Grix, not a way that this gun round wanted to get going by Heroic. They're down to 3 in a matter of moments.
Tanir, not in a bad spot, to be fair. Could go unchecked, could go overlooked. He's, oh yeah, a little awkward, but he will be traded at least. I was going to say too many enemies to be focusing on, but they just have the numbers to play a bit looser. Bomb down and spotted. Nilo heard now. Just going to have to really defy the odds with this. Snappy gives his life away. He is forfeit for the information. And UJerks there on the trade. So, again, the initial move's pretty good. I think Train's a map that NiP might really enjoy playing, though. Again, it moves very fast, and they can sort of just keep things simple for now. And that's what they need to really, again, get used to playing at this top level if they are going to start competing for playoffs and things.
And I mean, you know, like we said, they've played it actually a really decent amount of times.
Yeah.
All right. Snappy really getting loud. That's what we want to see. Like you said, it's not normally a guy who we see kind of get noisy, normally quite stoic in his nature, but he's getting fired up. Of course, there is a bit of a pseudo rivalry between these two sides. It's not only in the server, out of it too. We know the social media managers have a field day against each other. But all the bragging rights right now is in the hands of NiP, and it's continuing as UJerks finds yet another 4-0 for him. A lovely start yet to fall. And of course, back to a lower investment for Heroic. On their map pick, not looking too great for now. His presence towards long, and more going to join them as the gang are grouping up. Wrinkle needs to make sure not to get tunnel visioned.
Wrinkle. Oh, gonna get ahead of this smoke. Feeling confident.
Briefly.
Yeah, the paradox of choice, and he opts not to shoot anybody. So we all get to live. Nice little peace pact for now. Ceasefire for the moment. Oh, Kaspersky just in between those smokes, able to spot the corner of a head. He's got an inkling there's a few more here. Out onto the Tech 9. Nilo's unbothered. Nonchalant, as they say. Can he find anything here? As he's left alone. Follow those traces, bro. He's pretty low. I think they know where you are, my guy. I don't know. He's trying to play sneaky here, but yeah, I think they're pretty sure of where he is at. Down he'll go. And 4 in a row now for NiP.
Yeah. Honestly, fair play. This NiP side putting up some really decent rounds. That one, little scrappy, little weird, but if you can still see them over the line, that's ultimately all that matters. And making sure as well that it's inexpensive, I think, is another big thing for them. Nobody going down is a nice positive to have on that CT side where you're building up real stability in terms of the finances. Here's the spawn smoke thrown by Youngster. And splits the difference between the two trains, gives you a bit of a runway if you want to go quick towards the A side, but they're actually not. So Molly down to slow them down, and Tanir sticking behind it. Flash avoided. Kaspersky sitting up close. This is a big fight. If he can win this, it'll go a long way. It's Tanir who gets caught early. Opening kills have been excellent for NiP, and Heroic are continuously left in a position of reeling.
And what are they going to do to adjust now? Holding some extremities on the A side of the map. Maybe looking for some aggression to come their way, and I think they will get their wish. And Linus just not ready. Nilo there for one trade, but there's too many bodies. And that should be the round, in all honesty. They have the bomb, I suppose. So just got to be careful on the over faces here. And before I even get the words out, you jerks proves my point. So maybe there's a bit more space to work with than first thought. Flank coming in. It's going to be quite late, though. So for me, it's shush on the bomb site. I have to watch this guy.
Oh, well, speaking of, he's the one to fall. Wrinkle AOV, snappy MP7. Griggs gets close, or peering through, but it's Griggs who comes out on top. And it's all down to now this MP7, which is a known quantity and at range. He gets so close, but it will be that first on the board for Heroic. And now they get loud themselves, but Toby's going to call for a timeout. Wants to build upon this lead. I feel like as well, with how close it got, it still is not that confidence booster that Heroic are really looking for. You know, you come back in towards an investment, you want to make those sort of rounds stick, in a sense, sort of effortlessly, and, well, it's anything but. It very nearly slips, in fact.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Really strange sort of round. It's that first domino, isn't it? You know, you jerks had done so much, but then he takes that wide swing and it just leaves them incredibly vulnerable. No one around to trade each other for the rest of that round. Really quite a tough one, and I think Heroic will be very happy that they managed to get that. But yeah, a pretty nice timeout as well. Just to kind of make sure that they can now get some building blocks on this T side.
Early nade, bounds round. Just setting up one of his own. Kaspersky going to come join, but he will now be left alone here. Push through Pop Dog. LNC got the right idea about this, but how good is the clearance? The shadows betrayed them, and Kaspersky going to get both. Oh no, that's not what we wanted towards upper brown holes, down to 3, and this has been a, unfortunately, quite similar position for Heroic. They've been in a 5 versus 3 a couple of times, but Tanir is here to bite back with one of his own. A chance absolutely still on the cards. Shush, less than half HP. Far from being on the lock and key this round for NiP. You need to make sure. Look is posted in the open. Wrinkle, you cannot afford to miss. And he doesn't.
Bit easy for him there.
Yeah.
Got to be careful giving him more. They try and double swing in. Oh my goodness, the re-peak. Again, I suppose they are so far ahead that it doesn't matter too much, but maybe some spots of discipline in places. Does feel like Train brings the worst out of a few players, you know? It just moves so fast. It's a little close quarters combat at times. But they'll get the round nonetheless.
Today also have the AWP, or he'll try to save at the very least. Snappy, he's got the right idea here. Oh, it's a timing one on the exit. Moving round, and yeah, Snappy's going to get him. Orb recovered. They don't actually need to pick up that orb, but if they want a double orb, of course, that is a possibility that they gifted. Nice response, though. Simple stuff. All starts here. Kaspersky as well. It's just the shadows that betray you and you're swinging in towards Bot Dog, but It's his repeat, right? He's really wanting to make it 3. Which didn't give time for the weapon to be ready. Doesn't matter though, 5-1. So far, plain sailing for NiP. Heroic still looking and feeling fast asleep right now. It's pretty concerning times. And today will be the first to fall, and Wrinkle flicking a find. He repeats again. Hasn't learned his lesson from the round previous. He could have easily got a kill and got out. That's overconfidence now for the youngster. And it's something he needs to be very careful of. Oh no.
Oh, shush. Man. Again, allowing them space to get back in. It is a little weird here. Big man Linus is chilling out in main, so if they can get the right pick off, but it's actually heroic to find it. What is going on? Youngster back for a bit more, using the ladder to his advantage, trying to find the head. He can't. Ex-Kaspersky goes up high, as it will be the frag going back round. U-Jerks is left in this 1 versus 3, and again, NiP letting it slip.
Bomb has been planted.
U-Jerks, he's been held as well. Youngster knows, but U-Jerks hit the shot. Now 1 versus 2. Does have a kit to work with, no util. Got to isolate fights. And, well, he's doing exactly that. It's Nilo who falls over faces, all down to LNZ. Tap on towards the bomb as well. He goes quiet. It's all about whether he can spot him, and oh, he's so close. LNZ will see him off, but that is a sigh of relief for Heroic when it comes down to the 1 versus 1, and still maybe concerning times. On the flip side, over fights from NiP, so unnecessary. Wrinkle, we don't need to repeat there. Could easily get one and fall back on the angle, give himself the opportunity to fall away, but no, decides to fight. Shush goes for a push, which is unnecessary. So I think understandable that we get the first tactical timeout taken here by NiP. Good opportunity for Resist to sort of enter the fray, but you're looking at Snappy. He needs to tell the troops just to chill out a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's a lot at play here in the fact that, like I say, Train as a map does seem to bring it out of a few players, especially your AWPers, just feeling like they can you know, it's a lot of very straight angles, a lot of very big walls to hide behind, or the trains to hide behind. They feel like they can safely repeat. And look, maybe in Go you could, but in CS2 it's a bit easier to punish those repeats. You don't move quite as quickly back round a corner. And then also I think there's just the fact that NiP feel confident coming into this matchup. Already a game that they've won, and one that they're scaling into, and a good start as well. But both the rounds that they've lost, they probably shouldn't. I think that is worth bearing in mind. It could be 7-0 quite easily right now.
I mean, that's sort of ultimately the takeaway, is that they shouldn't have, but I'm not get too worried just yet. Smoke will be dropped by Ex-Kaspersky, selling the ruse that he gets out, and actually he will just commit to getting out. As U-Jerks playing up close towards Ivy, and Young's just pushed a little far forward now, so it's like a fight brewing. He does have support from the site itself, but they look like they're splitting towards the A. Utah being set up for exactly that. Under 50 seconds now to work with. Clear through main. LNZ first through Pop Dog as well, and there is that split of Long as a real potential, and in they come.
Selb looks good to me. Tiny little smoke at the back of the bomb train, not really going to upset them too much. U-Jerks dry swing, good timing. So there goes that prong. Oh, and the taps through the smoke as well. Just doing bits of damage, distracting away. There's some team damage in there. Snappy will go down. Ex-Kaspersky in on the site, as he will find himself a clean frag. 1 on 4 overall for Tanir here. Gonna have to find out if he can pull this out of the bag. No time though. I think they just give him the space, and indeed he will go down. So NiP back to their winning ways.
Yeah, U-Jerks, he's playing excellent right now. Absolutely flying. 11-2 for him. He's been so damn clean, and he's just that consistent factor that you want to see him. He's 4-0 in opening doors on top of that, which is, you know, exactly what we were talking about coming in towards this series. NiP have individuals who can step up. Kaspersky we know is good. Wrinkle we know is good as well. Shush, a guy who can be a real stabilizing factor and a secondary voice, but we need numbers out from U-Jerks, and well, right now we're getting exactly that. Back to a lower buy for Heroic. And Kaspersky trying to get in the back lines here. It will net him an opener. Looks for a second swing and a find. So the low buy into upper brown halls. Shut down with ease, and U-Jerks to close once again. His 12th as NiP find their 7th. This is very, very nice. They've guaranteed the lead in the first half.
Yeah, and look, the timeout comes in. That's obviously going to buy them a bit more space and try and stop things from falling apart too quickly. But look, they have lost some silly rounds, but ultimately they've bounced back from them very, very well.
Yes.
They've not just sort of tilted out and then lost the subsequent. They've stuck to the plan. They've gone, okay, a little bit unlucky. Maybe you just need to pull it back a bit. And indeed, took a timeout on the second one because it's like, okay, maybe one is okay, but a second is kind of a fool me once type situation. Burst up here from Heroic. They will clear out the site. At least initially. Wrinkle breaks his smoke. Doesn't see anything on the side of it. Snappy. Tough angle. Wrinkle does manage to find one on the Ivy angle itself. But beyond that, there's nothing coming. So the first sort of legit round for Heroic, they find some quick entries. They work off of it. And they will secure the round. Can they get the hunt on? Maybe not wanting to lose any more players now.
Hang on, though. This AWP is not too far away from Tanir. He might be able to get in the back lines. And yeah, he is. All right, something brewing here. Wrinkle, he's tunnel vision in the wrong way. So he should be dead. And well, he is. Tanir will spot him. Shushes over towards Oil. And he'll get the trade. Again, I don't know if he stays alive here. He's just dancing between the triangles. Ooh, pixel spotted. Griggs known about, but he'll nail the shot. Hunt successful for Heroic. Still a long road in terms of the recovery. They'd like to get to minimum 4 rounds and well, one step closer. And like you said, I think that's the first big round that we can kind of come back on for this Heroic side and say, that's good, that's replicable. The protocols are solid, the call is solid. And we've hit our shots. Yellow and Tanir in particular, doing really well. Of course, we're going to need to see more out of Tanir to keep U-Jerks at bay, and rounds like that are proof in the pudding that he can. Wrinkle posted, Wrinkle finding as well. He's so sharp. There's the repeat, but this time successful. Oh, Wrinkle, that's a stunner for a second. And Heroic left stunned as they're down to 3 once again, and Snappy tucked up close. Youngster might overlook the angle, which he does. A lazy half clear costs him his life. And surely the round NiP number 8 in reaching distance. And Tanir will actually get the find as Wrinkle misses the shot. Something we haven't said too much when he's been looking this hot.
Yeah, usually going down on those sort of second or third repeats, isn't he? On the trade opportunities. But yeah, a missed shot like that is a little bit rare. Surely you feel he's done enough for the round. Tanir has scooped up that up, so he's looking to try and find a kill of his own. But the FOV of the scope will be his downfall. Grix, the real AWPer, maybe, might be able to save. I think other than that, he shouldn't really have a goal for the round. He's now been spotted. And with 30 seconds left, it becomes a lot tougher, I think, to slip through the cracks here. Make sure you don't go down after time, so on and so on. But it would be lovely to have this AWP into the final round of this first half.
Yeah. I'll definitely help out. But she's got other ideas. That range, nice work, nice find.
Check them. Did he hit him? Casper with net, I think so, right?
Precisely. Check them corners. And he didn't. It's a second shot from Wrinkle. So quick on towards Nilo, but there it is. Youngster didn't check his corners. Snappy will punish. Can't give him those easy ones. NiP up to an 8th. Still, 4 rounds for Heroic is workable. There's foundations that can be built upon, but look at the buy that they've got to try and do it with. 1 AK, double Galil, double Tech 9. It's not exactly bountiful here. Shush, maybe in a bit of trouble. They try to soften up, but actually LNZ gets out in front of it, and A double swing from Grix. You might even push through this. Snappy, it's bold. And will it pay off is the question. Yes, it does. To near court. 4 versus 3. The bomb down.
A little bit of carnage as that bomb goes down as well. They try and press forwards here to find some return kills. Youngster in the thick of it.
Oh.
Ex-Kaspersky going to go down. It's Snappy and Wrinkle now, and Wrinkle's a little far from the action. He does get one. He reveals his location onto the pistol. He's got to be low, they say. And indeed, he will manage to find it. Not a moment too soon. Gets rid of all his weapons. All he needs is the kit, of course. The 9-3 comes in. And a pretty decisive first half there. Could have gone even deeper, bar a couple of silly mistakes that NiP was still able to... Bloody hell, cheer up, mate. The NiP was still able to keep together going into this second half. Either way, we're going to take a break. We'll be back soon.
They look like they can go on forever. And it's only the first map.
My brain feels like scrambled eggs after that marathon. Seriously, how do you recover from this?
I don't know, man. Looks like a long run. We need a quick reset.
Hey, cheer up, boys. It's only a best of 5. Refuel yourself.
You have to understand how things are up here.
Oh no, do that there, touch them toe, earthquake with it. No, do that there, touch them toe, earthquake. Oh no, do that there, touch them toe, earthquake with it. No, do that there, touch them toe, earthquake.
Oh, that was so saucy.
So creamy.
You were talking about the clutch, right?
Yeah. You?
Yeah, I guess.
Welcome back in, guys. Second half about to begin, and vibes very good, it seems, over towards the NiP camp, and understandably so. They're 9-3 up here in their opponent's map pick of Train. We need a, for lack of a better term, heroic showing on the CT side if they want to get back into this, and it all starts with a pistol. If NiP find it here, I feel like map number 1 might be already under lock and key.
Yes, and they do have a game plan for it. Plenty of utility brought up here. Looks like it might just be a slow B move. Actually, more looking for pop dog control. Youngster gets the timing but can't find the headshot. Grix gonna have to stand strong on these dualies. What has he got for us? Goes unchecked by the first, but he cannot find the kill, and that is unfortunately the life of a dualies buyer. Nice through the smoke from Shush. Tanir's still around here though, and he's maybe slipped through a little more than they would have expected. 3 versus 2. Wrinkle on the P250 raid boss here, just trying to find the next head, but it doesn't happen. They brought it back Another classic NiP slip-up here. We'll see if they're able to convert nonetheless. Snappy, I think...
Snappy.
Yeah, he's not known about. Kaspersky on the site is, yeah, Snappy revealed. Can't find this Nilo guy. He's incredibly low. There you go. He will eventually go down. Knife is out. Tanir with a nice little one-tap. Knife is out again. Knife is out. Yeah, just not enough time. He can hear the slashes. He doesn't want to get on the end of that, but the round will be won out. And Heroic just not quite enough there at the end.
Yeah, exactly. Chaos and carnage coming through. There's an NiP who come out on top. He could hear the slashing of the knife as well, and that's the thing that sort of dragged him away from just sticking that defuse. I don't think he would have had time either way, but a few things just go right for NiP, and that's all that matters. So I guess the consolation, it doesn't really matter. 10-3 now, 7 rounds ahead of Heroic. It's getting closer and closer. NiP looking fantastic. There's of course going to be a force buy in for Heroic. You don't blame them here, but chances are dwindling in this map. It did go for early Pop Dog presence, and is he just going to retract that forward movement? I think that's probably the smart call. Play together with Tanir. So they might even look in towards main, and he'll get tagged up by the scout. Softens. So X-Squared now needs to be careful, and LNZ will reclaim this control.
Oh, come on.
That's unfortunate.
Seriously, man. That's the game's fault, bro. I'll not hear anything else. That's so insane. Mac 10 at range. Grix with the flick. What is happening? Some crazy kills here thus far. And maybe an opportunity, actually. Kaspersky is low. We do have this flank coming in, so any kills that these main defenders are able to get, gonna look good. Sort of counter-attack is on the way. Nilo is in behind. They now know it. There's no need to take any risks. He could have kept going, to be honest, and just played the element of surprise, but he will take the first one in front of him. Ujerk's gonna have to do all of it now, as he is left alone. 1 on 4, essentially. But down to a 1 versus 2 once the dust settles. He's finding the heads. Lineups are there. He knows this guy's got to be somewhere over here, but he just can't get it done. Oh, man. So damn close. At least making it costly, but Heroic take it.
Heroic needed that as well. Fine, you know, we always say it's good finding the pistol, but the force play is actually just more important, especially in terms of setting the econ. And for Heroic, who are in desperate need of consistency and consecutive rounds on the board, that's what they required. Little bit of a tilter, it's unfortunate, and Udrix gets so damn close at the end there. He's been having a whale of a time in this map thus far, but cut short in that 1 versus 2. How am I going to be taking here? No need to worry just yet for NiP, but I'll call for their second pause out of 3. Still 6 rounds ahead, and they're going to force buy. Of course, they sort of have to in that double eco territory, so with loss bonus being at a minimum state, you've got to be buying in here, and you want to put that pressure still back on, because even if you are to lose around here, if you make it really expensive, bring Heroic down to 1 or 2 players, long-term still has big effects on that CT economy. And of course, changes have been made that make it a little bit easier now with the kill bonus and all the rest, but you still just want to keep the pressure on, especially when you've got as much of a lead. You can take a gamble.
It is true. See if they have anything in the back pocket that they've worked on. Lovely little contact flash there. Tanir does not know what day of the week it is. Multi-spray down's going to be needed, but they do not arrive.
Oh no.
Ujerk's does go down, but he found a big kill. Kaspersky in the back lines is a real thorn in the side. It's on Youngster. It feels like to maybe even save the game. And there's just 1 player too many. He nearly breaks back into the site there, but he is denied from behind.
It feels like if that's a 1v3, he actually has a really decent chance of winning it.
Yeah.
But either way, what a response from NiP. They just go quick. They just shift that tempo up in towards that 6th gear. They fly in towards the A site. And there's just, unfortunately, nothing Heroic can do. They're caught short, pants around their ankles, and they had no way of responding. As the force by wards, they go back into one of their own, bringing a lot less to the table. UMP, MP9, greater pistols. And chances dwindling for them now. Kaspersky up close, does need to be a little careful. There's Tanea around that corner. He's spamming the smoke, trying to find a head. And Tanea can answer a bit of his own as well. Heroic needs something kind of miraculous here. Lindsay's going to be posted in the corner. Nilo pushing forward, but look who's here to meet them, Ujerks. Another opener for him. 5-1 he is in opening duels. Continues to be such a thorn in the side of Heroic.
Just gone quiet here. So I think NiP realise the position that they find themselves in. They have to capitalise. Just put this to bed. And really knock Heroic for 6 on their pick. Looking good on B. We do have a double flanker on the way, but that's kind of, well, it's not really a flank because there's nobody else left, I guess. I don't know. They're a little late. Not sure how that would work in military terms. Snappy, though, he's looking to just close it down. Doesn't really care too much. Lovely correction to keep it going, and they now have 8 in a row to work with.
All right. It's already feeling like a done affair, and vibes seem very high over there. Money going to be completely shot over towards Heroic. That was everything brought to the table there for them, and it was barely anything to really be too scared about. Heroic look fast asleep in this first game of the day, and I mean 2 p.m. on the continent, so no real excuses. LNZ was talking about confidence off the back of taking number 3 in the world, the distance, but it's looking anything but. You jerked another opener for him. On to Nilo again. Under pressure here, spots 2. Drops a smoke. That's a lot of attention drawn towards Ivy, and LNZ runs to his demise. That's sloppy, that's lazy, that sums up his map, 2 and 15, and probably sums up Heroic as well. All down to 1 man, and Griggs was spotted earlier. Ujerks knows that he's somewhere in towards Ivy. This is a done affair. Heroic, a unbelievably flat performance on their map pick, and Ujerks will close it in style. 21 and 7, a 3 KD. Side who are now climbing inside of the top 30 and are putting pressure on that position of Heroic. But it looks like we are about to get underway. Map number 2 about to begin here as well, as it's Nuke. We're heading towards the pick of NiP. And Cedar Creek will be our canvas for this one. Let's see if Heroic have got anything in the locker after a abysmal map number 1.
Well, you'd certainly hope so. I think the fresh slate argument that we like using sometimes can be very effective. Just play a bit of Nuke and try and have some fun with it. Youngster in the right place at the right time. Surely that's like a 2 with 1 bullet, it felt like. But the Julie's coming up big for him. Is it going to be enough? I mean, surely. Come on, guys. 2 kills traded back. A Goosh landing. You've also got another low HP player here. So it's kind of gone very messy. Snappy, meanwhile, surprise, is downstairs. There goes Nilo with the full health. So surely they've done enough now. Oh, man. Started so well, and there's nobody else to support Youngster.
Unfortunately, that's been a very similar story for Heroic. Top. Snappy doesn't need to peek as well. Pressure being put on him by LNZ, but it's Ujerks. 4 kills to his name.
That's fucking insane.
Who is this guy indeed? Ujerks. He got a new lease of life, it feels, in this series. Heroic, he is punishing them. Like we said, 21 and 7 for him in map number 1. And he starts off with a quad kill. They're loving it. They are loving it. And you can't blame them. My, oh my. What a display. Another rough one for Heroic. They're going to go for the force by MP9s across the board, but like I said, you get that 2-0 start for NiP and they can start really pulling away.
Yeah. And again, we talk a lot about the atmosphere within a team. Listen, we saw a really good atmosphere from like Game of Legion. They ended up losing, so it's not everything, but it generally speaks to a pretty good kind of vibe. And the rate of success tends to be a bit higher. NiP, oh, again, looking around this corner. Just feeling like they are on that other level. Heroic, unable to match thus far. Nilo does get a catch on the unsuspecting Shush. Surely this round going to be over. Do have some kills back here for the CT side. But there's not really all that much that they can do to answer. Very curious now as to how this heroic team answer back, because there's just really not been anything from them the whole series. Go for the force hit, it falls flat. Gonna have to eco the net. You know, it feels like such a steep uphill battle, man. And you really have to enjoy the process if you're able to get up to the top, so to speak.
Yeah, I think you're right. They need to, I mean, probably coming towards the next gun round, I would say take another breather, take a pause, get Tobers into the fray and see if he can find ways to break them down. I mean, they know how to win against NiP on this map. They've already proven it, right? And I think for me, it's about, you know, getting rid of all of these thoughts of what this series has brought to the table and saying, right, we've already beat these guys. We know how to take them down. Let's rekindle that flame again. At the moment, they look so mentally checked out of this. And it's rough to watch. 2-0, really. Should be made 3. Heroic, we bring an MP9 saved, and that is basically about it. NiP should be easy. Kaspersky just holding in case somebody tries to tuck up close, as Youngster did in the pistol. Flash, Molly Oldfen trying to send Snappy in, and he will do well. Gets his, and, well, gets out as Nilo tries to push with that MP9. Down it will fall. Doesn't even do a point of damage to Wrinkle.
Ooh, Snappy.
Good reaction.
Yeah, I mean, he's not looking bad, you know. He was all right on train as well. Certainly one of the older players, you know. He's an IGL that has maybe flown under the radar throughout his career. You know, reached high heights given the teams he's had, let's say. But just never quite, you know, kind of not got to that Carrigan point of Danish IGL. 35 at this point, though, now.
Yeah.
Looks good for it, first of all. And, I mean, I didn't...
Potter him up over here.
Yeah. No, just saying. But, you know, he's also been around for a long, long while, you know?
Yeah, he has.
Played under the heroic banner at one point, even.
Of course, I mean...
ever looked like this.
And he's still proven that, you know, age is just a number, right? I mean, continuously not only kind of looking good, but continues to be this leadership figure and making teams. And of course, the story for him this year with what he had to do with NiP, the run through the ranks that they had to make, and the new VRS system actually screwing them a little bit, or a lot of it, if we're being frank. I mean, it's super commendable how he's made this side climb back inside of the top 30 and be on the brink of regular tier 1 invites. I mean, they're only a few spots away from being guaranteed. Normally, it's someone in around kind of top 24 that are guaranteed invites to sort of basically every big event. They're 28th currently. And who knows? I mean, maybe even a win here over Heroic. That might even bolster them up a little bit. Just checking now. It would actually start pushing them up a little bit. So, yeah, you know, up a spot or two. That'll help.
Yeah, it's very, very commendable what they've managed to do, to be honest. You know, I think people feared that the NiP name would be down there on, like, rank 100 for a long time. But they are certainly playing like a top team. I'll give them that. U-Jerks finds another keen opener. 6-0 for him now. He will break in towards this B-bomb site. There's a small lurk upstairs. If Snappy finds his kill, I think round is over. And he will. I mean, what can you do? It just feels like one of these series, man. That's M4 versus Mac 10. Felt like the M4 had more of a drop on Snappy, and he still gets the kill. Sometimes you just have to look at it and be like, it's just not our game.
Yeah.
You know? It's very, very tough.
Man. I need this time
Yes,
out.
100%. Yeah.
You can tell they're all over the shop. Guys, relax. But yeah, I think you couldn't have put it any better. You know, sometimes we can say it's not their day, and I think you're bang on. I mean, it absolutely is not their day right now. But You can still change the tide a little bit. You just shook it down here. He will. He was looking for something on the tail end, but
yeah,
not to be. I'd love a pause within the next couple of rounds. They can't really afford. And okay, there we go. Finally, I actually would have preferred it in towards that gun round conversation before heading in towards the buy and saying this is how we're going to put pressure on them. They're on a bonus buy. We've got the better weaponry. Let's utilize it. But no, they let it run, and of course, it does have a bit of an effect. They can actually buy here though if they really want. And Toby's trying to instill things, but there's some pretty long faces over there, right? They're not looking good.
It's a very, very tough spot to be in because we can have the luxury, and when everyone watching, when we play and whatever, right? Like you have a game and you just shots are not landing. They're just better. Whatever it might be, you know, you might blame them for cheating as well. To be fair, I do that, but like we have that luxury because it doesn't really matter all that much in the grand scheme of life. But for these guys, they have to be able to pull it back within the game. You have to suddenly be able to turn it on and be like, oh, now my shots are landing and maybe we can turn this around. You can't just sit there and accept. Listen, we've all been in games, you know, you lose 3 rounds and your entire team's like, right, game's over. But, you know, you take a timeout and Shush kills you through a smoke, you have to be able to just go, okay, got to bounce back next round. And that is not an easy feat.
No way.
You can't be serious. You can't be serious. Yeah, I think you might have spotted the question mark on the minimap there for the T player. He seemed pretty sure of him. And again, just unlucky.
Nilo, nice shot. Needed as well, but still 2 versus 3. It's Griggs with the only real solid amount of health here. Up on a retake. It's never really what you want to see. They do have an HE. Banking that in towards Heaven should confirm things. Griggs finds his shot, but it feels like he's angling for the save already. And understandable, Nilo, of course, is reeling from that earlier engagement. So 4 made 5. Tania 0-5 for him, yet to get a kill. LNZ, only the 1 for him. Tough old predicament. That's the first death for U-Jerks. He's still 6-1. He's had both maps where he started out the gates excellently. Nilo's actually going to go down to the bomb as well. So all that save.
You need to go for the rounds. You need to win them also.
Yeah, you're damn right, buddy. I couldn't have said it better myself. At this point, where it's already starting to run away from you, you've got to give these a go. 2 versus 2. There's maybe got to be a conversation saying, do we take the gamble? And I couldn't have said it better myself, Snappy. Brilliant with how NiP are playing.
You need to go for the rounds. You need to win them also.
He is having a whale of a time. 5-0 NiP are muting this heroic side. They're offering up nothing.
Yeah, for the second map in a row as well, by the way.
Yes, yeah.
This is the thing. You know, we talked about it on train. 2 or 3 rounds there felt like they should have been NiPs. Could have been super one-sided. Then you roll into this one. And it's also super one-sided. We've watched enough Counter-Strike by now to know the vibe of a 5-0. Sometimes it can be tough. You've lost some 50-50s. You've lost the clutch to the time of the bomb or whatever it may be. But no, this is a very different situation. Just getting picked apart. There's a few players doing their own thing. A lot of freedom here, it feels like, for NiP, and having a pretty damn good time. Snappy does get caught at the start of this round, so maybe something brewing for Heroic. You would damn well hope so. A clean conversion to kick off the round has to work from here. Nilo in one of these pesky back angles will manage his kill. Scope heard, shadow spotted, pre-fire there. Kaspersky getting it done. Looking for a bit more, and he will correct. Cool, calm, and indeed rewarded. Down to just LNZ now. Up the vent, down he falls as Wrinkle will finish it off. And despite losing the first man, NiP win the round. It's just hard to watch.
Yeah.
Especially if you are a fan of Heroic.
It does feel like even with that entry for them, and you know, the first kill on the board for Tania, the understanding right now of how to stop NiP on the C side is minuscule. Wrinkle, great work. unfortunately, it looks like a bit of a tech issue over towards Shush, but let's hope that doesn't slow them down by any means. It's a 6-0 start. Heroic across the map and a quarter we've played so far. Barely anything. Only 4 rounds they found, and all of which being in that first map, and even then they were... It should have been kind of max, maybe 2-1 if we're being kind of maybe even realistic. A brutal display. Lost something on Shush's side, though. Trying to figure that out. Can't hear him, it feels. So let's hope this doesn't kind of disrupt any of the momentum. Heroic, they're probably praying to the gods for something like this, just to slow them down, because it's a 6-0 start, and they're waltzing to eliminating Heroic here.
Yeah, tech pause, maybe something awry on the Heroic side of things, you know, the classic chair wasn't adjusted correctly. That must be the difference, but yeah. Also, Youngster, what is 90-degree angle keyboard? That's crazy.
I never get how they let you do that much.
Yeah, a little bit of a tilt, I understand, because it's like a more natural when you've got your arm out to the left.
Yeah.
Not twisting your wrist at all, like, especially for longer sessions, is probably better. 90 degrees is crazy. You know
as well, more than anything, I don't understand how they type. Like, I cannot type when my keyboard's like angled. Yeah. It's impressive, but that's why they're the pros. They
got all the tricks.
Yeah, one with the keyboard, some would say. We're back with this game. Shush's tech issues concluded. Headset seems to be back on and working. Good to see. Pretty necessary in this game. Next especially going to be tested here. It's a foot spotted. Oh, he moves at the worst possible time. Oh, wrinkled 2 on the cards there, but he can't quite find it. Shush fumbles that one a little bit. Might be Heroic's first round. It's unorthodox, the lobby crunch, but it looks like it's got something behind it. There is Utah to work with. 2 mollies. A smoke, a nade, and a double flash.
It's the back bend. Oh, he's out in the open, so U-Jerk's going to have to do it all by himself here. Molly comes in. He's got plenty of time to just play the field. See what he can get away with. See if he can spot anyone. Grig's just holding the ladder here. Absolutely needs to play this correctly. Not going to go too early. Not going to go at all, really. Till he hears that bomb coming down. Even then, taking his time. Bursts up. May well have been heard. So he's the distraction for Tanir's M4. And indeed, U-Jerks was just trying to find where is that next guy. Can't get it done, and Heroic are on the board.
He finally, right? So all it took was a bit of a grace from the gods, maybe. With a tech pause that slowed down the roll of NiP, and that will be a first, but it's got to be the first of many. This cannot afford to be a flash in the pan, and I think they do get a little fortunate. I think Shush, his labored kind of fight was pretty costly. I think same, unfortunately, for Wrinkle as he moved his way forward. And it will be that first pause. They, again, in the flip side, for NiP, they just want to slow this Heroic roll down. Make sure they can't build upon this. They'll, of course, buy back in. They've got plenty of money to work with on this T side. It's a first round finally, but like we said, first of many. If they get shut down here, they're going to be continuously left reeling. I mean, already 6 rounds in your T side of Nuke. I'm pretty happy with that, generally speaking. Any more for any more bolsters statistically your chances of taking the map, and well, ultimately in NiP's case, the series too, and eliminating Heroic from Cologne contention.
All right, let's see. Is this the turnaround that Heroic need? Is it just that one fluky round that can creep its way in? U-Jerks finds the first.
So smart.
Yeah, just so well read. Clear all the angles, don't take any chances here. He's maybe clearing them a bit too hard, as LNZ will drop him. Speaking of drops, 3 down the vent. He should be able to get the bomb plant here, but they have been heard somewhat ahead of time. There's just not really much that the CTs can do about it. LNZ makes his way down secret. One on the vent as well. Just a distraction. It's not the feet shooting at Shush. He knows that much for free, but he is trapped and cannot get out. Meanwhile, up top, Wrinkle gets caught. A little messy in places here. Still 2 on the bomb itself. He's just got to try and buy time. Snappy goes flying in. Nothing that he can get done. If this kill comes in, oh, we're maybe on with a chance. There's not a lot of time left on that bomb. The nade is enough. And they do have kits available, so Heroic see it off.
Couple of overfights there, I feel, for an NiP. Especially kind of even like Shush around Ven. He's trying to tuck himself in, and maybe, you know, half a second earlier, and he probably has the drop onto near there, but the fact that he gets spotted leaves him dead to rights, and U-Jerks, maybe, yeah, too many clearances from him towards outside. I just think NiP in that post-bomb, they're way too spaced out. There's no real ability to trade any of those fights. They're playing individually and hoping that they can win out head-to-head at 50-50, but why take 50-50s when you can bolster your chances? Shell up towards the site, invite that pressure in, and then try and overwhelm. They have the numbers to do so, but it does not work out for them. So second on the board, Nilo, what have you got for us? Swinging a fine extra Spursky. Really well done there.
They are down quite fast. Defense on the bomb side itself looks a little bit better here for Heroic. Really, really key swing round here if they can take it. Oh, Youngster, he will burn ever so slightly. Good for 1. Will it be enough? Bomb has gone down. Nade on the double doors just leaves it open for Wrinkle. A lot of options for him. Eats a small nade himself. Just got to be careful here. As LNZ moving up through the ramp. Looked like he could have thread the needle. Wrinkle eventually set up and ready for him. Hex Kaspersky, meanwhile, up the top, has got this one on lock, and I think they recognize that fact at this point. Not enough time to get going, and neither of these players have got kits, so they'll have to back off, which is kind of a little wild, but I think they would have saved there anyway.
Yeah, right. I don't think they would have been able to give that one a go. Kaspersky, he'll go down to the bomb, but a 7th and a lead now guaranteed for NiP. As it should be with how well they started. All starts so well. Kaspersky, nice swing and a fine. And if Youngster had got the second there, there's probably a bit of a chance that we can make something of this, but not to be. Once again, we reinvest for Heroic, and they've got the finances to do so. You lose this round, though, and they're going to be left reeling a little bit short. This loss bonus building once again, but money's still going to be in an awkward spot, and that wallet a little thin. So an 8th here for NiP, and especially a pretty clean 8th as well. If they can deny that kill bonus from a CT angle, I think that's where they can put a lot of pressure back on Molly. That'll force Griggs away, and he's tagged up by the nade again towards outside. U-Jerks, a lot of respect being shown. A flash shot comes over, but not committing to the fight just yet. Smoke broken open too, but now cross smokes are set in place, and Griggs has to just fall away.
LNZ getting down below. It has been a pretty popular area for NiP in recent rounds. Tanir pushing forwards. Waiting it out a little more on the NiP side. See if there's any sort of reaction from Heroic. Big rounds on the horizon. Series winning rounds potentially. So not pulling any punches here. A bit more discipline to NiP it would seem. They have a plan to finish A. 30 seconds in which to do it. Tanir goes early. We'll find a big kill. That knocks off a prong of the Vanguard, and Youngster's got his man covered here. They got help from Heaven. It's looking pretty damn good. Snappy comes in kind of late here, as he is the final player holding that lobby area, I feel, for a flank that never came. And down he will go. Heroic holding things out. NiP can't break through.
Good work. I think Youngster's a really solid around there as well. He's just that supporting element as the A anchor, but he does very, very well. Tanir also gets a second before he falls. That one on towards U-Jerks, unbelievably important. So a 3rd put on the board and keeping chances alive here. It is still a bit of a swing round heading in towards the final. So keep an eye on this as the buy comes through for NiP. If they lose this round, Heroic probably get up towards a 5th before the turn of the half, which actually is a pretty commendable recovery considering it was a 6-0 start. It's worth keeping an eye on, and Nilo, he'll get the first. And he gets down as well. That's a luxury they'll take. Youngster gonna find U-Jerks as well on the lurk. This is all slotting into place for Heroic, recovering at the end of this half. Nilo gonna play up close. He's stuck between a rock and a hard place anyway, so why not gamble? And oh my god, he plays off! Who was that? Who just walked? Was that Snappy who just walked past him?
I think so.
How? How's he not even spotted him?
Front.
He's come from behind too. How has he not even spotted him? I have to see that from his angle. How in God's name has he not seen him there? What is he looking at?
Unless he's like looking to the left, walked in front of him, and then just sort of starts moving his crosshair to the right.
There's also a team kill as well.
Wild. Yeah, of course, just for good measure. just to show how hard of a round they just fell off with, you know. Crazy. Well, final one here, as they're on a really, really low buy. Grix on the up. There you go. Baits him in with a bit of a smoke, and he will manage to find that head. Needs some backup now, though, as the shots are going to get harder with the gap closing. Yeah, doesn't quite know where they're at. Dink lands there. Shush up close. What is going on here? Grix is quick enough for the close shotgun kill, but this is a bit wild. U-Jerks finding his. Snappy gets peeked on. Not expecting him to peek, I suppose. That's a little tedious. That will surely be the round secured. They couldn't get through Grix's up. U-Jerks just extending play ever so slightly. A decent recovery from Heroic, you know.
Yeah, honestly, that's quite commendable. 6-0 it started, ending 7-5. Still, of course, advantage in the court of NiP, but Heroic are slowly but surely rolling back into this. And the question on our minds now is, can they do enough to push it to a third? Well, we're going to have to find out, but before that, a break. Welcome back. So a recovery from Heroic, finally, for the first time in the series, showing signs of life. Still more to be done and more to convince us that is for damn sure. But 7-5 from being 6-0 down to start, not bad. You can maybe even look back to that tech pause from Shush where the opportunity to get back in towards the game arose for Heroic. Now, a pistol round here. And maybe, just maybe, we can start to believe. It looks like Kaspersky going to be first to be tested. Flash comes over. The dualies for one. Looking for the second, but unable to deliver. Potentially, Shush can. And oh my God, can he? 3 quick fire headshots. Lines them up, knocks them down. And NiP back to winning ways. That was fast.
Yes, you can certainly say that again. I mean, crazy work. Absolutely crazy work. Good to see. Shush was a guy who I think really didn't catch much attention. A lot of his compatriots turned a lot more heads with their moves, you know, post-heroic, post-life over there. But he was becoming one of the more solid players, you know, and reliable players in that lineup. Maybe not hit the same kind of stride for me moving into this team, to be honest with you. But, you know, good to see him coming alive there in the pistol.
Oh, Wrinkle. Having a bit of a meal of it out towards that side. He's desperately looking just for a headshot. He can't quite find it just yet. Oh, and he actually got loose to the Glock as well. A little embarrassing. You hate to say it, but this round still shouldn't be too much of an issue to dispatch of. You see Wrinkles feeling the pressure there. Oh, one spotted outside. Snappy dinked as well. I've got a bit of an awkward feeling right now. Don't let this one slip, boys. Even if it's made expensive, but you still win it, you're not really going to be too happy.
Just having a little chat here outside. Youngsters looking at the sun or something. What? I mean, I guess he's just there for the boost. Keep it silent, but it just looks funny. They are fully snaked up here. Shadow spotted, though. Yeah, it's such a hard angle to beat. They only wanted the 1 kill. It's what they get. Money being made. M4s to be retrieved. We'll see here in the post if they are able to get their hands on them. But I think they do lose at least 1 M4 there.
Yeah. That's a little awkward, but I think you're not really looking for anything in that round. Oh, yeah, I feel you. When I'm full armored with an M4 and I lose to a Glock at range as well, I also would be pretty tilted. So, understandable little death punch there. Still, keep the vibes up, NiP. You are inching closer and closer to a 2-0 in the series. 9-5, and it's Snappy to open things up. Look at this move for Kaspersky. Surely doesn't get checked. This early in towards a round, he has the chance at a double here. There's the first. The second he doesn't think about, but it's fine. Snappy's still finding his kills as he drops LNZ. It's a 2 versus 4 in a matter of moments, and Grix gets tagged. Just a tap through the smoke. Oh, man. Bad to worse, it feels like, for Heroic right now.
Yeah, and look, if you're not able to get yourself off the ground into this second half, I think it is just going to be flattened. You jerks, nice peek. Grix on 35 HP, what can you do? I'll answer that question for you. Nothing. Might be able to get a bomb plant, so that's not quite nothing, but still not looking good. I actually do think he's got space on B now.
He does, actually, yeah.
Yeah, so fair enough. Small oversight from NiP to let that bomb go down. It could have been a pretty much flawless round. That's all he gets.
Yeah,
it will help them a little into this next.
Nothing he can really do after it, but it's fine. Another great round that comes through. Snappy, both the kills. Really well done from him. A tough predicament, but I mean, that round is over in a matter of moments. It's 2 simultaneous pushes that happen, one towards lobby, one towards outside, that kill any chance of that round within, what, 20 seconds of play, if that? Not what you want to see. I mean, we're not really seeing any individuals truly take over on the heroic side. Well, on the flip side, kind of everybody's having their moments towards out of NiP. Shush being the quietest, and he's still having plenty of impact. Everybody's stepping up a team-wide performance, and they're taking turns to see who really pops off. Wrinkle will tuck himself in towards Ven. Has Exispersky to still stick around on that top side. This is sort of in that make or break territory. It's the now or never line that we like to throw out, but you lose this 11 there and kind of more or less the 12th as well, and you're playing to see if you can survive on a lesser buy. Wrinkle spam, and he'll tuck his head. Round number 16 is everything for heroic, for survival here in Cologne.
Big from Wrinkle, big from Snappy. Those 2 individual kills I think are going to be enough in this here round. Oh, Youngster does win out his fight. Important that he does so, but he is short-lived. Couple trades back in. Snappy just gets that catch. It's down to the one-on-one, though, because Nilo picked up a kill before going down.
Airburst Molly.
Oh, maybe giving things away a little. Grix had gone for a fake anyway.
I like this angle.
What does he want to do? Is it the drop-down vent? Is it just looking for the big catch-up? It's great pathing. He's totally unexpected. But the elevation from U-Jerks, it just gives you so much vision. And he's able to find the kill all the same.
Oh, man, a bit of a sigh of relief. I think it's safe to say that was still a little janky at times for NiP, but it starts well and it closed well, and that's all that matters. Still from a 3 versus 5, commendable that Heroic even bring it into any sort of a conversation that round going their way, but it's not to be. 11-5. They don't want to play for OT, so they're going to force buy in towards this one, but it does require 2 Galils and a limited amount of utility for this C-side. So it does feel like we're more or less at the beginning of the end here. U-Jerk drops a smoke and just want to invite pressure in behind it. Oh, and he gets to spam down. That's perfect. A second. The third is on the cards, and U-Jerks is looking lights out. Tania bounding round. The nade might see him off, but he doesn't. He's a lucky man to stay alive, but surely U-Jerks Heroics have settled this round, and Wrinkle going to make sure of that. Tania needs an ace clutch with now 9 points of HP. Surely a complete impossibility.
The bomb is retrievable. That's all he's got going for him. Can he work with that?
No worry.
The angle. Got the idea. Oh, man. He even survives a little longer than you would expect.
Yeah.
Somehow, Shush didn't get him on that first exchange of bullets. Nonetheless, looking good here, as they will hold it together very nicely. I say they, mainly U-Jerks.
Yeah. Especially that third kill, actually. That's a really difficult one. And he's running out of ammo. A lot of pressure as they're bounding through that smoke, and he still transfers to his right-hand side with, you know, only a few pixels to work with above that box. Really, really well done. Map, series point, NiP. An elimination on the line now for Heroic. The recovery required is mammoth, but it starts well. It's only got to start with one step. Wrinkle for a double, though. Bring the numbers back. Level! Oh, my God. The third was there, but he can't find it.
What a mess. What a mess. It very much is. That first kill for U-Jerks might just set this up here. The bomb is pretty late to the party as well. Molotov to keep him at bay. Just keep the information. Ah, the smoke.
Go through it.
It's a little deep. It's a little deep. Youngster's watching it. Surely not. Yeah, he will indeed go down. But for a moment there, you're like, oh, I don't know. There's space to go through.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, no crazy finish like that. Heroic trying to keep it together here.
With a deficit as large as this, you just got to take it one step at a time. And well, a 6th up on the board, but no issues buying in towards this round number 19. However, the next round, different story, right? There's not a lot of residual cash for NiP, despite the success they've been finding. So they fall flat in round number 19. Heroic get up to a 7th. The 8th is also there as well, and that pathway to recovery starts to get a little brighter, a little wider, a little bit more possible, but doesn't start well here. Snappy spotting shadows and sealing a second. He opts for the AK, and that'll cost him his life, but it's Wrinkle up close. Shush out to the tally, and I think now it's safe to say that it is game, set, and match. NiP at 1 versus 4, and Grig's now a known quantity. He has a minute 15 to work with and a bomb on his back, but no chance in hell of winning this. They've sealed it in style, and a bit of suave as Wrinkle finds yet one more. NiP a 2-0 over Heroic. They won the first time, and Heroic looked for revenge, and it's only made that much more worse.
Well, indeed, yes, they do themselves one better. They get it in 2-0. They get it in a very one-sided fashion.